Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Thursday, January 16th, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2025. For possibly the first time ever, a meteorite was captured hitting the ground on video, and we have that video. And bad news, in the next 3 decades, the possibility of a major megaquake and tsunami now at 80%. Keep calm. It's boom time. Winds ease as the LA fire continues to burn. 38 people still missing, according to officials, as firefighters report gains as the winds die down. Palisades investigators have now gathered 150 leads, according to officials. There is currently 5 fires burning in the LA area. The biggest fire, the Palisades fire, no growth in 3 days, now 22% containment, 23,713 acres burned. The Eaton fire, the second largest, no growth there in 3 days, 55% containment, good news. The Hearst fire now at 98% containment, all but out. The Auto fire, 85% containment and just 61 acres burned. And the newest fire, the Little Mountain fire, now at 34 acres. And to make matters worse, in some of the areas with steep hills, which is most of the areas, firefighters have caused landslides in their efforts to put out fires at homes. And mud debris slides have occurred, and this one is catastrophic, splitting a hillside home in half that survived the fire, but then a mudslide from above came down and crushed the home completely. Holy macaroni. Let's talk about weather. Vermont is suffering from a case of powder fever. Feet of snow have fallen in Vermont, and resorts across the state are enjoying top-notch powder conditions. Some resorts have picked up over 3 or 4 feet in just the last week, and there's no stopping the snow. Here's the full forecast. Snow for the eastern Great Lakes and central Appalachians into the mid-Atlantic, and slow improvement in Southern California. Good news there. Snow showers, a few squalls from the Great Lakes region into the central Appalachians and mid-Atlantic through today. Travel conditions may be affected. For Southern California, slowly improving conditions as winds diminish later today. Friday and into the holiday weekend, an Arctic surge will dive southward with snow showers and squalls for the front range of the Rockies as colder air moves east. And, well, the models are all over the place. The GFS shows heavy snow across a wide swath of South Texas, as well as snow covering hundreds of square miles of Florida and South Georgia. Now, take a look at the CMC that just came out. That is even more extreme, but takes the storm a little further north with some extreme totals. However it develops, something significant is developing over the next few days. And system after system will pummel the east and the northeast and the Great Lakes as we head into February. Let's walk this southern storm through. Here is Friday into Saturday morning. Snow across most of southern Canada. Light snow in the northern Rockies as well as the Great Lakes and the northeast. Here's the weekend: Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That storm develops, dropping down into Texas Tuesday and Wednesday, covering the south. It's going to be chilly, folks. Speaking of which, let's take a look at how far that freeze is going to make it down there for Florida. So Florida is going to start getting cold right about here on Monday. And that will be Monday, January 20th. 21st, it will be brutal. And here, take a look at the 22nd. Southern California may not get out of the 40s for the highs. Lots of brutal cold coming for the south through the rest of January. And it's not just the east and the Great Lakes with record-breaking snow. Japan resorts near 5 meters. That's 16.4 feet of snow. And England is now on its 7th coldest January since 1959. take a look at some of these pictures here. Japan ski resorts are experiencing one of their snowiest starts to the season on record, with several reports showing snow depths exceeding 13 feet. In total, some 30 ski areas across the country are reporting snow depths above 300 centimeters. Absolutely fantastic for Japan. Bad news here for Japan. The possibility of the Nankai Trough megaquake now 80% according to new government panel reports. Yeah, it's true. The probability that the Nankai Trough megaquake will occur in the next 30 years has risen to 80% according to new research released Wednesday by a government expert panel. This is a slight increase from the old hypothesis, which had a 70 to 80% probability. So they're tweaking it up just slightly, but anyone living in the area of a megatrough quake zone like this and Cascadia, well, you get what you pay for. Seismic update. No quakes of note, but activity continuing in Hawaii as the volcano continues to erupt there at Kilauea. Some seismic swarms happening at Snæfellsnes, and this is where that volcano that hasn't erupted in over 1,000 years has gone a little crazy. But the good news is the rest of the regions have quieted down, especially Grimsvötn. So we're keeping a close eye on that. And Bartabunga, Grimsvötn after a glacial outwash has begun, and Bartabunga after a major seismic swarm, which is indicative of magma emplacement, occurred. And eruptions after the magma is in place typically happen days or weeks after, so we'll have to keep a close eye on Bartabunga. Worldwide volcano news: Reventador, 15,000-foot blast, Santa Guito to 14, Nevado de Ruiz, 19,000-foot, Ibu puffing and passing the 7,000, Fuego to 15. Here we have Ibu above average eruptions continuing there, alert status raised to 4. Liwatobi to 8,000 feet, and there we can see Kilauea. The fourth effusive episode commenced with intense lava fountains and is still ongoing. The eruption as a whole has now lasted weeks and began Christmas Eve on December 23rd. Semaru, who knew? Now you do. 15,000-foot blast today. San Gata, 19,000. Nevado de Ruiz, 19,000-foot puff. Conleon on the list. Ibu, also volcanic ash reported. Reventador to 15,000. Santa Guito to 14. Liwatobi, puffing and passing. No flight level. San Gata, 19,000. Fuego to 15. Santa Guito to 14. Semaru to 15,000 feet. Conleon, Jesus, on and on. Sakurajima, 7,000-foot blast today. Nevado de Ruiz, 20,000-foot puff. Wrapping up the list is Fuego with a 15,000-foot boom. Space weather is ramping up ever so slightly, not a single M flare in sight. As more and more sunspots turn around the limb and sunspot groups, we now have more and more new active regions that are being numbered. But that doesn't mean flaring is occurring. We do have a coronal hole, a major equatorial one, looks like a snake. And that coronal hole stream may couple with us in a day or so. 24 hours ago, AR 3964 didn't exist, and now it already spans the width of at least 5 Earth planets. But it is not that significant. Look at that. Very wispy and tiny indeed. Not really a threat for the endgame flare, now is it? Now here's the interesting story we kicked off with. For the possibly the first time ever, a meteorite was captured hitting the ground on video and audio. Let's take a look. Keep your eye over in this region here. Right over here on the patio. Whoa! Now the guy that lived here, if he had lingered a little longer, he might no longer be here. What say you? Do you think this is a micrometeorite that hits the ground at terminal velocity, 124 miles per hour? It looks about the speed. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment below. All the links to all of the articles will be below the video. Bad news. Smartwatch bands contain major levels of toxic PFAS, according to a study. Thank God I don't wear a smartwatch because I don't want to be tracked. That's why I leave my phone at home. High amounts of forever chemicals that can be absorbed through the skin have been detected in common brands of wristbands on smartwatches. And this can lead to cancer and other problems. Not to mention, every time it rains or you wash your hands, you're polluting the water and it's rinsing down the sink or leaching into the ground. Absolutely disgusting. And that's a boom to knowledge. We do have the ITEL reverse osmosis water filtration system below if you want to drink the purest PFAS-free water on Earth. We love each and every one of you. Please hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Over half the people watching these videos are unsubscribed, and it would help the channel grow, and we would appreciate that. We love you. Be safe. And that is a boom.